Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from Pain Comfortable 8891 and it says, am I the arsehole here for refusing to continue providing free childcare for my stepdaughter? I did work a program with the local clerk of court's office when I was in high school. They hired me when I graduated and I had my 30 service years before I turned 50. With 30 service years, you can get your full pension at any age. I worked until my first grandchild was born. Then I retired to be grandma daycare. I have 5 grands, 8 male from my stepson, 7 male from my son, 5 female and 18-month male from my daughter. I babysat all of them with no issues or complaints. I still keep the 18-month-old Monday to Friday and the older ones summer and school holidays. Whew, busy. My stepdaughter and her boyfriend has been non-stop drama since before the baby was born. When she was 10 weeks pregnant, they presented a 3-page list of rules for when I was babysitting. They said if I didn't sign it, they wouldn't allow me to babysit. I said that I understood their need to do what's best for their baby, and I assured them that there would be no hurt feelings on my end when they made other childcare arrangements. Some of the rules were almost understandable, but most were downright ridiculous, and none of it was going to work for me. I don't remember them all, but some examples are: I can't take the baby anywhere without their permission. I can't watch more than one additional child while babysitting. I can't cook. I had to provide the full name, date of birth, and address of any potential visitors ahead of time for their approval of the person being around their child. They have to know any time I have a guest over and know who it is and how long they stay. My 9-year-old cat would have to be kept out of rooms where the baby would be, even when the baby wasn't there. I couldn't get another pet without their agreement. When she was 7 months along, they came back with revised rules in an attempt to compromise. I again let them know that their expectations were not going to fit with my life and they should just find other childcare. 2 days after my stepdaughter went back to work, she called and asked if I could keep Cullen the next day. I agreed, but made it clear that I was going to provide safe, appropriate care according to my judgment, and I wasn't going to deal with complaints or whatever that I was violating their rules because I wanted it very clear that I was not agreeing to any of that. My stepdaughter was okay on the day she picked Cullen up and dropped him off. I felt like she was interrogating me every time she picked him up, but it was tolerable, but her boyfriend was downright rude. I got to the point where I actually spent Sunday dreading the start of the week because of dealing with both of them, but especially his behavior. At minimum, he'd pick up Cullen, make a big deal of partially undress him, make at least one snide comment about my cat or if I had any grandchild over besides 18-month-old, and if I had cooked or whatever. Then he'd say, I guess we didn't have any choice but to put up with this for now. Or I guess you are happy that you won. This went on for 4 months. I spoke to my stepdaughter several times about it and told her that obviously they are very unhappy with how I cared for Cullen, and that they should really work on finding something else, and that in the meantime he needed to be less vocal about it. It'd be better for a day or two, and then it'd start again. It all came to a head as Thanksgiving was approaching. He was very verbal about the fact that he didn't want me to keep all my grandchildren over the break. I made it very clear that there would be a couple of days that I had all of them and that they needed to make other arrangements if they had a problem. They didn't make other arrangements, and when he picked Cullen up on the first day that I had all my grands, he was very rude, and although nothing happened, everyone was happy, clean, fed, had a great day. He said to Cullen that he was sorry they had no choice except to leave him in an unsafe situation to be neglected. I called my stepdaughter that night, relayed to her what was said, and told her that she has 2 weeks to make other arrangements and that she needed to drop off and pick up Cullen during those 2 weeks, and if her boyfriend came to drop him off, I would refuse to keep him, and if he picked him up, I would not keep him again. So things were better only dealing with her. At some point she asked me if I would keep him until January because they found someone but he couldn't start until then. I agreed. She picked up Cullen and dropped him off and everything was fine. New Year's Day, several people sent me a screenshot of a post her boyfriend made on social media about how thankful he was that we're finally able to leave Cullen without worrying about his safety or him being neglected. He didn't outright name me or accuse me of anything specific, but anyone who knows us knows I was keeping him, and the post implied plenty. I was just happy that it was over. Friday, she called me and said their new childcare provider had told her that Cullen wasn't a good fit and that she couldn't bring him back Monday. She asked if I'd start keeping him again. I told her that I was sorry for their situation, but I really don't feel comfortable keeping him. My husband and stepson both think I should watch Cullen under the agreement that Amanda drop him off and pick him up, because they think her boyfriend is the big problem, and that I should just do it for Cullen's sake. My stepson also commented that I'd probably be more willing to let it go if it had been a conflict with my daughter's husband. My pension is about $4,000 a month plus continuation of my health insurance. That's about 40% of our take-home income if that matters. Am I the arsehole for refusing to start watching Cullen again? Absolutely not the arsehole, and, quite frankly, I wouldn't be caring in that situation either. This guy is a walking red flag, and the potential for this guy to cause some serious issues, it's there. It's absolutely there. With his behavior of, constantly checking the baby and making accusations of neglect, it just feels like he's up to something, which, sounds horrific to say. We've seen stories about overprotective parents, and, this just doesn't feel like one of them. It feels more about control, etc. And I feel like it was particularly telling when the new childcare provider suddenly turned around and said, oh, the baby's not a good fit. It makes you, why? Why wasn't the baby a good fit? My mind immediately went to the boyfriend and his behavior with her as well, pulling the same shit. But Brilliant Ad says baby daddy has a real problem. That's very controlling behavior there. He may also have distorted view of you if your stepdaughter has complained about her evil stepmother before the baby. Until she needed you, that is. Wombat says giving 20-1 is the father who isn't a good fit for the new childcare. But he went on a dictatorial bender once he was paying and thought he meant he could demand anything he wanted. Terry says, not the arsehole, no. You shouldn't put yourself through this for Cullen's sake. Cullen will get cared for regardless. There's no need for you to set yourself on fire because your stepdaughter and her boyfriend can't behave like normal human beings. Your husband and stepson are welcome to offer free childcare and put up with this treatment if it's important to them. But you've done your time. Learn from that experience and don't let yourself be put in the same situation again. Blackbird says there's a reason the licensed daycare won't keep him. It's the boyfriend. The liability alone would make me pause. He could ruin your lives. Hortense says, especially after that Facebook post, no way. Lore says, yeah, boyfriend could call CPS because of the cat or some other crazy idea. Stay away from these people. Some guy in the UK says, Cullen stands up, Cullen falls over, Cullen bumps head, Cullen gets a bruise/mark. Boyfriend calls CPS. Fuck that. This is why daycare bailed either way. Either they saw the Facebook post or boyfriend made some low-key threat veiled as a comment while picking up Cullen, and they didn't want to risk anything. So OP comes in with her update and says, first, let me just address the common suggestion that Amanda's boyfriend is purposely sabotaging their childcare to trap her at home. They make roughly the same amount of money and definitely can't afford to lose half their income. I seriously doubt he wants her to stay home. Second, I would never tell my stepson to find someone else to watch his child because of a simple difference of opinion. My grandson and I have a very close bond. He's the oldest and it would break my heart and his if he didn't come spend his holidays and summers with me. Plus, he's a huge help with the little ones when I have them all and things get hectic. I'd never be so petty as to make him and all my other grandchildren suffer because of an adult disagreement. So I sort of asked around about why they were dropped by their new sitter so quickly. Apparently they weren't. Amanda picked up Cullen and dropped him off both days he went and everything was lovely. He did cry quite a bit, but they expected that to get better as he adjusted to not being held as much. My husband and stepson talked to Amanda, and she said that they realized they can't afford daycare. They already made the easy changes, packing a lunch, giving up fancy coffee, etc. And his dad and her mum are both giving them about $100 a month towards childcare, and they can barely afford it. but they didn't realize that you have to send everything the baby needs. I buy diapers, wipes, formula, bottles, extra clothes, etc. They just hand me the baby. They didn't realize that daycare didn't cover all that. Also, imagine her boyfriend's surprise when he found out what the staffing rates are in this very expensive daycare. One adult cares for 5 infants. I guess he thought that someone would provide one-on-one care, diapers, wipes and formula for $350 a week. My stepson relayed their almost apology. They felt overwhelmed by an infant and couldn't imagine that someone else could manage that plus other things. Cullen is going back to daycare tomorrow. Cullen's dad is selling his dirt bike and Amanda is selling some designer clothes, handbags and shoes to cover the cost. It'll get easier for them in 6 months when he transfers to the 1-year-old class, which is a little cheaper. Some comments on this one says, I love how Amanda's boyfriend was shocked to find out that daycare isn't a magical babysitting fairyland. Newsflash, diapers don't grow on trees, buddy. Grey Blue says, wonder if he's ever going to apologize for being an absolute idiot. What a moron. Top Put says no, he'll likely get Amanda pregnant again inside a year because he literally cannot connect cause and effect, and neither can Amanda. Engine says Amanda and her boyfriend needed to realize that parenting comes with sacrifices. Bippity Boppity Nope says, I always love that name, not the arsehole. Gee, things cost money and babies are a lot of work. Boyfriend is a flaming idiot who killed the golden goose. He has no idea the favor you are doing them, and he is a shitty person. My bestie owned a daycare pre-COVID, and our kids went to her. Even with a friend discount, it was $375 a week because we had 3 kids there. 2 full-time and 1 before and after school. She's a fucking angel for discounting it so much. In our area, that would usually be 2.5 times that much, and we couldn't afford it. I thanked her constantly. I made sure our diapers and wipes were stocked, plus extras just to be safe. I sent snacks for all the kids when I could. I bought her bottles of wine. Because that is how you treat someone doing you a huge favor. With gratitude. Her boyfriend is too stupid to breed. Sad she figured that out too late. My mum babysits for free for us to have dates. We have 5 kids still at home. Blended family. So as you can imagine, babysitters are hard to come by and cost a lot. I got my mum a Massage Envy membership to say thank you, and regularly my husband does stuff at her house she needs help with. Because we appreciate the fact that people help us with our kids. They do not have to. Valley Oak says amazing how there is zero drama when you show your appreciation for people who do you favors. You know, instead of slandering them on social media. Noah Broad says killing the golden goose is a great way to describe this level of idiocy. What happens when they run out of stuff to sell? Because little cheaper at the daycare is still greater than free. And look, I don't like to see a family struggle. I think it's sad, especially for the child. But my imagination can't help but wonder what his face was like when he started to realize, like that commenter said, it isn't a magical babysitting fairyland. And, you know, what a Burke he would be to think something like that. Everyone knows, regardless if you've got kids or not, how expensive childcare is. It's all over the place. Now, what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Course Tasty 9395, and it says, am I the arsehole for suing my brother over a family heirloom he gave to his fiancée? I come from a family where heirlooms mean a lot. Our grandmother left us an antique diamond necklace that's been passed down for generations to the first daughter in the family. Since I'm the only daughter of this generation, it was supposed to come to me. My brother claimed Grandma told him in private that it should go to him instead because he's the most responsible. I didn't want to cause drama, so I let it go, even though it felt unfair. Last week I saw on social media that my brother gave the necklace to his fiancée as an engagement gift. She posted a picture wearing it with the caption, "Feeling like royalty with my new family heirloom." I confronted my brother and reminded him the necklace was meant to stay in the family. He said, "She is family now. Don't be petty." When I asked for it back, he refused, saying it would ruin their engagement. I decided to take legal action to get the necklace back. Now my brother is furious and calling me selfish. My parents think I'm overreacting, but some extended family members are on my side, saying he never had the right to give it away. His fiancé even messaged me, calling me a jealous drama queen, and telling me to find my own man to buy me jewelry. The whole thing has caused a family feud, and now my brother and his fiancé are threatening to uninvite me from the wedding. Am I the arsehole for taking this to court over a necklace that was supposed to be mine? Now, I know all of this is particularly awful, but one of the biggest things that stood out to me was this private conversation with grandma that obviously no one can verify. That's particularly manipulative if that does turn out to be a lie. That's a really scummy thing to do in my opinion. Obviously, I can't tell either way. I wasn't there either. But it all just feels pretty convenient that this private conversation happened with this, what I'm expecting is a particularly expensive and nice looking diamond necklace, and then gave it away to his fiancé. But Status Confection says not the arsehole. Also, her man did not buy it. He stole it. Don't respond to her while you are suing. But when it is over and you get it back, then you can make it clear her loser man did not buy anything for her and stole it. Take him to court. Maud Croc says, my wife loved a chest at her mum's house. I know it should go to my sister. So I went out and bought one for my wife to pass down. Puzzle Dream quotes saying to find my own man to buy me jewelry, and says her man didn't buy it. He kept it from its rightful owner by claiming to be more responsible. You're the arsehole for not reacting then and there to that. And then he gave it to his fiancée without ever having spent a dime on the gift. Not the arsehole. Horse Funeral Priest says not the arsehole. I already find it more than sus that grandma told your brother in private that she wishes to break a family tradition and give that necklace to him, not you. If it usually goes to the oldest daughter, grandma would make sure everyone knows that she wants it done differently. Telling only the person who benefits from the change makes no sense. Unfortunately, I have no idea what the law says about situations like that. Probably different in different countries. But your post sounds to me like the legal action has already started. So at least your lawyer seems to believe you might have a case. Good luck. I know in the UK when I had to deal with like my dad's estate and, we had to talk about various things and does he want them to go to a particular place when the inevitable happened, which, was really heartbreaking to talk about. It's a real surreal thing to talk about, your impending death, if you like. And I could see my dad felt the same way. And I remember it being advised that if he wanted particular pieces to go to certain people, that he had to write it in the will. So I wonder if it goes back to the estate, because surely he could have said anything if he wanted to, because it's like, oh yeah, grandma wanted me to have a house as well. Thank you, that's mine. And it just doesn't work like that. So I do wonder about that. Course Tasty says, for everyone asking why I didn't fight harder to get it before. I honestly didn't want to cause a fight over it at the time. I thought my brother would treat it respectfully, but now seeing it being gifted like it's just some accessory really hurts. I'm not trying to ruin their engagement. I just want what's rightfully mine back. What would you have done in my place? Pretty Curl says, my bestie is a lawyer. What does the will say? Does it explicitly say it goes to you in the event of your grandma's passing? If so, then it's rightfully yours and you should move forward with legal action. Otherwise, the girlfriend will keep it, and it won't be an heirloom any longer. Good luck. OP says, unfortunately, she didn't write a will, so the necklace wasn't officially stated to go to anyone in particular. Anang says, then it's not yours. It belongs to her estate, which needs to go through probate as an interstate estate. But sometime later, OP came in with an update and said, wow, I wasn't expecting this much attention on my post. Thank you to everyone who shared their thoughts and advice. I wanted to give an update because things have escalated and there's some new context. First, I talked to my parents about the situation. It turns out my brother didn't just take the necklace, he convinced my dad that grandma told him it was meant for him because she thought a man would be more responsible. My dad tried to avoid conflict, handed it over without asking questions. So no, my dad didn't intentionally give it to him. It was manipulation. I was also reached out to other family members who remember grandma's clear wishes that a necklace was supposed to go to the first daughter. They're willing to back me up if this goes to court. My dad has also agreed to speak on my behalf in court, clarifying that he never meant to give the necklace away permanently. As for the legal side, I've consulted with my lawyer, who thinks I do have a case. Since there's no will, it all comes down to proving that the necklace was meant to stay in the maternal line. It's tricky, but I feel more confident now knowing I have some family members on my side. My brother and his fiancée, however, have doubled down. They've accused me of being jealous, and his fiancée posted another passive-aggressive picture on social media wearing the necklace, captioning it, "Some things just find their rightful home." It's honestly infuriating. At this point, I'm committed to fighting for the necklace, even if it causes more tension in the family. I'll keep you updated if there are any major developments. Opie commented on that update saying, "I'm not backing down no matter how much they try to twist things. This necklace belongs to me, and I'm going to make sure it stays in the family." I don't like Soup says, "Keep fighting and don't fall for your breaking the family apart narrative. Your brother is doing that and he can fix it very easily. I would also partially blame your dad, who should grow a pair and have a serious talk with your brother. It seems your family dynamics is quite odd though." The other commenter says this all happened because the dad didn't think twice before handing the necklace to him. An item such as that necklace shouldn't be given away without serious questioning. Another commenter says, "Fight. This is theft and it rightfully belongs to you. But ask yourself, how come all of you bend to your brother's will? Have things like this happened before?" Opie says yes. Things like this have happened before, and it's always been my brother getting his way. It's frustrating, but I'm not letting it slide this time. And it sounds like this one is going all the way to court. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It absolutely means the world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.